and welcome back. I am Bahama, your caster, and here we go into another Nexus Gaming Series matchup the moment it starts. Okay, I'm actually already having requests as we're going into this matchup to check the Webweaver health, so I will, Twitch chat, I promise I will do my best to check Webweaver health. Supposedly there's a bug that the Webweavers don't scale throughout the game, so I will try and click on them every so often, because I know the alley obs actually does allow you to see like building health, minion health, stuff like that. So yes, Superior North, I will go ahead and check the, I think you're like the third person to, like I got, like the moment we went live, I had like 3 people give me messages like, yo, check the Webweaver health. But that's something we're gonna do. Either way, welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series. On the left-hand side, we have ReGen, and on the right, we have Modo Gaming. So, ban-wise, looks like ReGen does not want to deal with the Lunara here on Tomb of the Spider Queen. The poison damage she offers is very powerful. She's quick in the 4-man rotation because of her base mount speed, being a little bit faster than everyone else's, much like a Lucio who can switch between his. So that's something to consider, as well as just the vision that she provides is pretty powerful. The overall lane clear she has is really good. So, not a bad first ban, but it looks like Modo Gaming does not want to deal with an ETC. I chugged a bunch of water before we started, I'm sorry. And I don't blame them, realistically, mostly because of the fact that ETC is really annoying to deal with, especially on this map. And Garrosh is going to be picked up for ReGen. That's not a bad idea at all. I like that. But either way, as we're going into this, if you enjoy Heroes of the Storm and you enjoy streams of Amateur League, tell your friends about this. I'm Bahama Gaming. I try and do a lot of amateur casting. We're already starting to work through the schedule this week. I believe, like, I should be able to confirm it tonight, but we have a full week of casting. I know Monday we're looking at games. Tuesday we're looking at potentially picking up a game. Wednesday we're going to be casting with another, just with Heroes Hype once again. So I am so excited. There's so much casting going on. So, now granted that one's going to be on a different channel, but either way, follow me here, follow me on Twitter. You'll find out where I am, where I'm casting. Either way, I'm just going to pop a link in there right now, even though it's going to be way late. So Greymane Stukov was picked up on the side of Modo Gaming. That's a really strong combination on this map. The wave clear, he works in the 4-man, he works in the solo lane. Stukov works in the 4-man really well as the zoning you get, the counter to any sort of dive, as I've been learning, because I've been trying to understand dive compositions a little bit more. I think it's something I'm not too familiar with, and understanding like how it's coming, like how it's going to be coming out in draft, and like how do you just counter it as the draft is going on. Stukov is one of those people, so if they do go into that dive kind of mentality, they do have the hem for that kind of disengage at 10 with the massive excuse me, not massive shove, flailing swipe. Massive shove's only good for single target removal, like something like an ETC maybe. But either way, I really like that Stukov Greymane combination. But even Gul'dan for the wave clear. So you're going to see him. They're going to be definitely doing a 4-man rotation between top and mid on the side of ReGen. Rhaegar just overall very good for that. As he's just a very strong hero. Valiban from Modo Gaming. I like that. I really like that. It would have worked with their composition in the 4-man rotation. It's pretty strong here. Malthea looked like he's going to be banned out here. I feel like Modo Gaming might be prioritizing something along the lines of a Kael'thas. Like, I think they're going to be looking more at a mage right now. I don't think they'd be looking into the... Malthea, I mean, he works on this map. I mean, he works in the solo lane, but I don't know, like, it's just, I don't know if he'd be a priority for Modo Gaming here. I think something along the lines of wave clear is definitely what they're going to be looking at. And Malthea, he does offer a little bit to that, but I don't know if he's the priority in this situation. Limiting the tank pool wouldn't be bad either. I mean, taking out a Diablo, taking out an Arthas, those are all really, really good options in this situation too. In the second ban phase, there are a lot of things you can choose from. You are kind of just trying to limit what your enemy potentially could be picking up. So I guess, you know, ReGen just considers that the Malthea would round out their composition a little bit better, and they're going to ban that out. Now, before we go into the last few picks for ReGen here, what are we going to be seeing from Modo Gaming? A tank in this slot, as well as either their solo laner. No, I think they're going to save the solo laner and flex on that after they see the last two pickups from ReGen. I personally think like Diablo works really well in this map. He's a very good choice. Anubarak is also a great choice, and as well as Arthas. I think we're going to see one of those three, as well as some clear. Ooh. Chromie's something, you know, there's a lot of Chromie that's popped up, and this is me saying this very late, but she has a place on specific maps, and this is one of them when I always forget about her. But Chromie from that backline dropping the sand, not something you want to deal with. Now, here's the question. What does ReGen pick up here? They're going to need a solo laner. Cigar is an option. Alarak's an option. Sonya's an option. Dehaka's an option. I think those are probably going to be the priority, and then they're going to need some sort of maybe... Actually, if they went to like an Alarak Sonya, that wouldn't be too awful. Alarak would work with the team fight. The question is, though, do they go into a Medivh? It's just something we have to kind of like pop out there really quickly. Like Medivh works in this map, as well as the backline dive that he has into the Stukov Chromie is something to consider. So they're going to go with the Genji. Okay, so Genji's going to be offering out that kind of that reset, that dive, and then Sonya for the solo lane. Okay. Okay. The Genji is probably being picked up to mostly harass the Chromie, I would assume. Him being such a mobile hero, getting into that backline and getting out without dying or taking an extreme amount of damages is definitely something that I wouldn't be too surprised to see, honestly. But this last pickup... I'm trying to think, like, what's going to round out their composition for that solo lane? Now, granted, they can go in the Greymane solo lane, and this could be someone in the 4-man, so this is also something that we need to consider here, because Greymane is kind of that versatile hero, so it kind of doesn't show ReGen too much of their draft, like, oh, that could be our solo, like, you know, we can flex on this last slot. So I honestly don't know what they're going to be going for here. I personally... They go for Leoric. I'm not saying it's bad, but I just... I don't know. I'm not sure if he's gonna... If he works... Slows, I mean, he pairs well with the Chromie, and it offers a lot for her, but I don't know. I just get a little worried about that Leoric. I don't know. I feel like they might need a little bit more damage, or they could just take more damage. Either way, we're going to be going into this game, and on the left-hand side, we are going to have ReGen with Altanian on the Gul'dan, Murda on the Sonya, Zul'Kan on Genji, Templard on Garrosh, and Savior on Rhaegar. On the right-hand side, we are going to have Modo Gaming with Savo on the Stukov, Strange Goat on Leoric, Gabe on the Anubarak, Rage Masters on the Chromie, and Bronker on that Greymane. Now, I did note this in the past on other streams, and someone did correct me, so I thank you. I believe shout out to Sierras who messaged me about it. I pointed out that like some people you can see their numbers and some you can't, and I thought you could turn it on and off. Mostly, it's actually just if you're friended with that person. So, as you can see, as I'm loading the game, I'm friends with a couple people on both sides, so I can see their levels, but the other ones I cannot. Now, let's go ahead, look at these level 1 talents, and I will try my best, Twitch chat and everyone else, to keep peeking at those Webweaver health bars as we progress through this game, because I don't know if it's actually been clipped or anything in the game. Like, I've never seen any Reddit threads about it, so we'll keep an eye on that. But supposedly the Webweaver health does not scale as the game goes on, so we'll try and remember to, because typically things in this game, as they progress, it's per minute, or I think it's every other minion. Like every other minion wave they scale, but every minute things like Punishers and Immortals and nukes, and I believe the cannon shots from the from Mr. Blackheart himself. I believe all those scales per minute. So, same with Webweavers. Let's just test it out. Either way, now that it's all explained and my tongue's all twisted up, let's get into this matchup here. Now, Strange Goat is going to be going up against Murda in this bottom lane. So it looks like that's what we picked up for that solo lane. And I'm not saying it's bad, but it's just, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Now, we are going to have Savo getting a little bit of this zoning out with the lurking on. Looks like he did go for that enhanced area at level 1. Otherwise, though, it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing too much of a, anything out of the ordinary these build-wise. Stukov going in, obviously he's not going for the range attack, which did get nerfed down to 40% again. I think it was at 30, then they put it back to 40, so overall they don't take that anymore. Because typically we will see that in a situation when we do have a Garrosh, because it does give Stukov a range, so he doesn't really, it just puts him more towards that backline, keeps him a little bit safer, and he can utilize more of his abilities from that backline rather than having to walk up just to get auto attacks in. But either way, it looks like we are going to have these rotations coming out from Modo Gaming and ReGen, just kind of going back and forth, clearing out these waves and just soaking up the experience, getting the gems till they get to 50. So it looks like, though, bottom lane, we're going to have Murda going up against Strange Goat here, and it looks like it's a pretty even matchup, just clearing out the waves and getting the gems as needed. Just peeking over at some of these level 1 talents as some of the passage. Chromie's sitting around 4 stacks already. We currently have 7 on the side of Altanian, so overall, it looks like, we're stacking up slowly. We are quite early into this game. And now as we progress, though, some of the things that we need to worry about are the 10s on the side of ReGen. There's a lot of control for them, or peel, actually, realistically. They've got a lot. Ooh, actually, Templar gonna be fine. I'm not gonna get dove on. It's just like there were so many members. I was like, ooh, Gabe gonna get thrown here, but he should have the burrow out. Will land on Savior. Gonna be taking quite a bit of damage from Stromy. Time Trap does go out, buying a little bit of time. There's the ooh, Zulkin going over the gate. Gonna get killed by the shot, and that's gonna be the first kill of the game, going over to the towers. Actually, it's Modo Gaming, but either way, it's the mini map will win, the map will win the game. 4 is now achieved for both teams. Go ahead and swap that over so you guys can see some of these level 4 talents. Doesn't actually look like anything that I'm not seeing anything that's too out of the ordinary here. In a solo lane situation, ooh, actually Strange Goat not dying. Okay, able to get out of there. Now the question is, are we going to see Murda be taking the Poison Spear here? Because that's going to lend a lot to this solo lane. We actually have Zulkan taking quite a bit of damage. They're going to actually dive out, then dive right back in. Tosses onto Bronker. Does have a little bit of a disengage into that human form. Going to get a Gil Nasty Cocktail out. And it looks like they won't be able to get any kills here, but they're getting pretty close on the side of Modo Gaming to the Churnin. Well, it looks like Bronker will go ahead and rotate down into this bottom lane. Gonna go ahead and dive on Murda here. He is gonna be taking quite a bit of damage. If they can get this kill, that's 15 gems. They're not gonna be able to confirm that kill. But in mid lane, we do have a little bit of a push from ReGen. It looks like they're gonna go ahead and start to just open up the lane for themselves. No, they're just doing the rotations once again. I thought they were going to push in there a little bit with the Greymane being in the bottom lane with Strange Goat, but it looks like Murda will be actually falling there. That's going to be 14 gems lost on the side of ReGen. Unfortunately, they will not be able to get those back, so that's going to put them a little bit behind in these Web Weaver rotations, and I'm not saying it's the game's won over by Modo Gaming, but it's definitely, if you can hurt the wallet or the bank of the other team, it definitely puts you way higher in the game, just because of the fact that they have a longer time till turn-in. Looks like, though, we will have a little bit of a just zoning here. Not too much is going to be happening. Most of the teams just looking for 7 as well as trying to get this turn and maybe get a pick here and there. We will have Murda right back down into that bottom lane. Going to go ahead and work on this siege camp here. Looks like Savior going to get slowed. We are going to have a dive in, and that's going to be the kill on the Rhaegar. Templar going to be... Okay, he will be fine. I thought he was potentially going to take a little bit of damage there. Looks like they went ahead and just cleared out the wave, and they're going to go ahead and get their turn in if they can, actually. Zulkan going to try and stall this out. Going to get stunned out by Gabe here. They get the turn in. Looks like Zulkan might fall. He does get the dash over the wall, and he will be getting out fine. I'm just going to peek really quickly into that bottom lane. We actually have Strange Go a little bit low on health here, but it looks like overall Murda going to have to back up. Now on top lane, we currently have a little bit of a push from the members of Modo Gaming. They do have this Web Weaver in the top lane. Go ahead and check it. So it's 8,370 health if anyone wants to write that down. We'll see if it scales throughout the game here. But it looks like they will be just kind of opening this up. I don't think they're going to get an insane amount of value out of this. The first Web Weaver in top lane going to be falling at this point. They get a little bit, they get the tower shots out, but at this point, nothing too crazy. Now, Strange Goat going to be doing a little bit of damage on the Murda here, pushing him in, but at this point, it's the same condition in top lane. He's gonna, did he tap well? I do believe he did. Know if he can sustain through this fight, mostly because of the fact that there is the Spectral Leech from New York, especially with the Willing Vessel at level 7 that was also picked up. That's just going to leave him so much more ability to stay alive in lane. And the one thing, I do apologize if I missed this engagement, was a little bit of small skirmish happening up there. While we were watching the bottom lane, looks like Strange Goat will be able to Wraith Walk away, though, not getting killed by Murda. Bronker trying to position for that turn-in, and they are quite close for turn-in. Now, at the other time, ReGen has enough for turn-in, and it looks like Modo Gaming is doing a really good job of just making sure that they're watching these turn-ins, making sure that ReGen doesn't get near them, keep pushing Murda back behind that line, and in this top lane area, we do have a few of the members just kind of poking with this Chromie. Templar taking quite a bit of damage here, and with half a level to go, 2 10s, we definitely have... This is the timer for ReGen. They need to make a move here quickly, because once 10s are achieved from Modo Gaming, look to see them get very aggressive, potentially go for some kills that will hurt the bank account of ReGen. And at this point, it's a very little bit of a lead, but Modo Gaming is definitely taking advantage of it. They're posturing very aggressively in these lanes. They're making sure that ReGen can't get the value from the turn-in. Looks like Zul'Kan will turn in 19, and that will put them one shy from a turn-in here. Dive in from Gabe onto Zul'Kan. Will not connect. Looks like, once again, Murda trying to go for that turn-in, but won't be able to get it. And do we actually see a counter turn-in in time? We actually have them turning in this top lane. So that is going to be ReGen getting the second set of Web Weavers. We do have a dive in from Gabe there, doing quite a bit of damage. The Web Wrap does go out, separating one of the members away. Zul'Kan going ahead, clearing that out so Savior can go ahead and get right out of there. But at this point, ReGen got pushed back a little bit before this Web Weaver, so I'm curious to see if they're actually going to be getting a lot of value from this. Now, Murda did get this camp in bottom lane. This will stack up nicely with the Web Weaver, but top lane is where we are going to have our major push. This is the boss lane. This is where things really start to matter, and it looks like we have had the Web Weaver scale a little bit. I believe it was last 83.70. Now we're at 85.92. So health-wise, it has been going up. I did not check time signatures. That's something someone's going to have to check. But either way, looks like we are having the Web Weaver health scaling correctly, I do believe. Either way, though, we currently have Bronker going ahead and clearing out that mid-wave, not getting too much value, but Strange Goat getting pushed in a little bit here in bottom. Going to go ahead and lose the gate here, and same in top. They're going to open this up a little bit on the side of ReGen. Web Weaver a little bit more powerful as these games, scale. This is the one thing that I was bringing up with the whole health not scaling. That means damage is not scaling, so... but it looks like it is, because I believe the damage was less last time. Either way, though, it looks like the Flame Slice will come out from Savo. Gonna go ahead and have that disengage. They're trying to push they're trying to push their advantage on the side of ReGen, and I'm not surprised that they are. They definitely have a couple of members rotating in from bottom lane on the side of Modo Gaming. The Templar in quite a bit of trouble here, getting separated. The Horrify does go out, but there is the taunt right back in. Leap goes out, and looks like Gabe will be taking quite a bit of damage. Then we do actually have the Ancestral Healing going out onto Murda. He will be living through. Zul'Kan going ahead and popping the Dragon Blade, going to try and clear out the Web Wrap so Savior can get out, and it looks like a lot of ultimates were used, but oh, Sonya will be falling. I was about to say a lot of ultimates were used, but everyone got out safe, and then Sonya falls right at the end. And with that, looks like they're going to go ahead and turn in and get the next Web Weaver on the side of Modo Gaming. And with Murda falling there, they're going to get a little bit of an advantage on this, because of the fact that looks like they're going to stack 5 members in top lane and really try and open up that boss lane, potentially. I'm not sure. They're posturing up. Get the toss onto Strange Goat. He is going to go ahead and Wraith Walk right out of there. Not a problem for the Skeletal King. This is going to be the dash through from Zul'Kan. Going to take quite a bit of damage, but we're going to have Gabe going ahead and diving in here. Cleanse is used onto Templar. Excuse me, I believe that was... Who knows? It could have been the level... Did he take the level 4? No, he took the... Thirst for Battle. So he doesn't have the Cleanse. So that was Cleanse from Rhaegar. Whew, what an insane back and forth there. But overall, it looks like... Realistically, these Web Weavers, they're going to just go ahead and just push up And I would expect them to honestly get the forts here. Mid lane is already cleared out. Top lane is taking quite a bit of damage. I don't think they're going to get the value that they expected. Gabe taking quite a bit of damage here. Gonna have the burrow right out of there. Not a problem. So it looks like they back off and they just open up these lanes a little bit more. Now in bottom lane we currently have Murda clearing that out up against Strange Goat. Going ahead and getting the swipe on him and able just to make this disengage, not a problem. Do have Zulkin in mid taking a little bit of damage as he's clearing out these waves, and just overall this has been pretty strong play from Modo Gaming. ReGen not too far behind, looking at about a half a level difference roughly. And overall, I mean, this has been a pretty fair back and forth game. The question is, do they get this next turn in? But it looks like, actually, excuse me, Gabe is going to go ahead, get stalled out, and ReGen is actually the one who I should be talking about getting the potential next turn in. They have 76 gems out of their 55 that they need. They just need to get them into one of these depositories. And it looks like Savo's going to go ahead and zone out a few of the members, with as well as just the slowing sands from the Chromie. Pull in onto Strange Goat from Templar. They will go ahead and use the Spectral. Excuse me, actually a huge taunt out. Genji's going to be falling here. Garish is going to be falling. Murda going to go ahead and get the Ancestor healing. There will be the Horrify onto a few of the members. It looks like they're going to continue to dive in, though. Strange Goat was actually pulled towards the members as the Horrify was used. We're going to have Rhaegar falling here. That's going to be Savior dying. Murda and Altanian are the only ones left here. And it looks like they're going to be able to get out just fine. But I wouldn't be too surprised to see Modo Gaming take advantage of this. They, you know, bottom lane is open, yes, but they definitely could rotate. They could have rotated really quickly in the top and definitely gotten boss. But they go ahead, they open up the lane, and it looks like they're going to just get this and then potentially turn for Web Weavers. I would assume that is definitely the direction they would be going into. Now that the lanes have been pushed up for them, they have enough, I don't know. They maybe should have gone into the direct turn-in because of the fact that there's none of this potential delay. We do have Genji getting a little bit of a delay here. 39 of the gems will be turned in. I don't know. I feel like they Modo Gaming went in on the fort and they could have definitely gotten the turn-in and then gone for the fort. It just gave a lot of time for ReGen to come back. But we are having Templar taking quite a bit of damage here from the Chromie, as well as Gabe diving in there. Gonna get a little bit of damage and stun. There is the pullback on the Strange Goat, but it did not connect. Now Gabe potentially could go in for the dive onto some of these members. Does not look like it's going to be happening. Now, 16s are extremely close on the side of Modo Gaming, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see them just kind of play safe, lane up and just work for those 16s, then take a fight afterwards when they have that advantage. And you can see them, they're playing at that halfway point. You can also see on the side of ReGen, they're going to start playing a little aggressive here because they're going to want to take a fight before they get to 16. Once they hit that point, they're going to have to play extremely safe because it's about a 2-level difference, and we're also talking a talent tier as well, and it looks like before that happens, they're going to try and get the turn in. Altania not getting hit by that cocktail, so they're going to go ahead and get those 29 in. Now Gabe going to rotate in, Zulkin going to get stunned here, and actually the silence is there, and they get the blow up onto Genji, and that is a Horrify that actually puts them closer to Altanian. They're going to get the burrow onto him, and the web rep is going to go out onto, I believe, Savior, but they go ahead and they disengage from getting shot by the tower. Now it is currently out of shot, so they can fight around this. There is the silence underneath it. Murda going to be getting dove on. The cleanse is put out onto him. The pull is there. The taunt onto Gabe there. The toss puts him closer to some of those backline members. Going to get the burrow onto one member. That's going to be Templar falling there, and they're going to go ahead and work down this fort. Now this is the point when I definitely say they got to go for the turn-in, or they go for the boss. They got to do either one or both. If they're going to do it, though, they got to send someone up there really quick to start it out, so that when they get the turn-in, it doesn't disappear. But no, they're going to go ahead. They're going to get the rest of the turn-in, and it looks like they're going to open up this top lane a little bit further. Now, if they can get a kill on to Murda here, we currently have Strange Goat diving in. Going to go ahead and get shot by this tower a little bit, and it looks like they will be backing off. 33 gems on the side of Murda, so that's definitely something that they need to try and really watch out for on the side of ReGen. Now, Web Weavers have been picked up for Modo Gaming. They have 16s as well. This is a really, really strong position for them to be in. I do believe I missed that, so I'll go ahead and select the top one. So it looks like they will go ahead and they're going to push up this top lane a little bit further. This is the boss lane. This is the win condition. Now, Murda is actually getting silenced. Going to actually get the toss onto Savior there. I believe that was meant for Murda. Going to be falling a little bit low. The Horrify did go out there, but it pulled just Strange Goat over the gate. He's going to have the Wraith walk out and just be fine. That cocktail going through the wall. They're going to be doing quite a bit of damage onto a few of the members. Web Rep does go out. We currently have Murda hearthing into the back to the core just to get full. We do have a dive onto Zulkin. Bird going to be back from his hearth. We do have a spin to win onto a few of the members. Going to have a little bit of a dive onto Zulkin. Going to get the reflect. And it looks like with this web weaver, they're still pressuring the top keep. The other thing that we have to worry about is that bottom lane. Bottom lane, mid lane, they've been pushing in this entire time. So we currently have almost half a health web weaver in the bottom lane. This mid lane was opened up quite a bit. They currently rotate down here, and it looks like they're going to want to try and work down this keep as well. Currently a strange go going through a few of the members, just making sure that they get the reduced damage onto a few of the members from, I believe, the 16 talent. This Royal Focus, so that's definitely a beneficial thing for that they picked up, and they really, really pushed in ReGen here. Now the question is, they don't have enough for turn-in. It's a little risky to go boss, mostly because of the fact that Horrify will be up. They do have that boss control, so it looks like they're going to go ahead and just rotate into their lane, pick up some camps, play safe, and I don't know if I like this, because the fact that they've taken the pressure off of ReGen. They've given ReGen breathing room, and as a team, you want to consistently just, you want them to respond to you, and what they're doing is they're opening this up, they're giving ReGen that time to push up their lanes. Top lane's already going to start coming back, mid lane's already going to be working forward a little bit. Now they are dedicating a few members down here to go ahead and push that up a little bit, but this is just what I'm noting is that they're giving breathing room for ReGen, so it's allowing them to just come back a little bit here and close that experience gap, maybe potentially sneak a turn in. So at the same time, they're going to get quite a bit of damage out. It looks like they're going to sneak a few gems in here and there while zoning a few of the members away. But at the same time, we do have Zulkin on top. I believe he was getting some turn-in as well. And if these members just dedicate them into that top, or at least just get Murda into that top, we currently have a toss on to Gabe, but we do have a web wrap onto one of the members. The Fear pulls Gabe away from his team. We currently have Zulkin into that backline, trying to get the swipes out. Looks like he will be dying. We had the Chromie go into the stasis. Murda kind of going into that backline, trying to get the kill onto Rage Masters, but unfortunately, he's not able to do that. The Flame Swipe did go out for that disengage. We're currently going to have to spin through the Slowing Sands. Looks like he will try and push all the buttons, but unfortunately he will be falling here. That's going to be 44 gems falling on the side of ReGen. And with that, I wouldn't be too surprised to see Modo Gaming start pushing up these lanes. Maybe definitely go for the boss at this point. This is your boss time. Horrify was used. You saw it. Clear the top, push yourself closer to 20s, and get that boss. Open up that top lane, potentially go for core. I doubt it, but you never know. You could get a kill off of, you get a kill off of the push or something. But at this point, ReGen, they just need to... They lost so many gems, and that's the hardest part about this entire fight, is that they lost 44 of those gems. That was kind of their comeback value. Like if they could have gotten the turn in now, that would have just saved them a little bit of time here. It definitely delayed this a little bit, give them a little bit more of that breathing room towards getting closer to those 20s. But at this point, it actually looks like they're going to go ahead and go for the turn in here. I do believe they have enough now, and yes, they do. That will be from Rage Masters. With that, they'll get 20s. They can rotate into this boss. Now, the boss has been taking a little bit of damage from ReGen. Not an insane amount, but either way, we still are going to have them burning this down. It will just about get the keep here. It's actually going to get the keep, excuse me. And it looks like they just go ahead, burn this down, but at the same time, they have a web weaver coming. And on top of that, Modo Gaming's walking down the lane with 20s. You're 17. You need to be a little bit safe here, ReGen. I don't know how they can... This is a really, really hard spot to be in, because these web weavers, they've been scaling throughout the game. We're 19 minutes. They do so much damage. Just to note, from the first web weaver we had in the game, I believe it was 8,370, and we're at 10,220, so like quite a bit. So they have been scaling throughout the game. But either way, we definitely have that top lane getting cleared out right away. And it looks like this will be the mid keep falling here, and I wouldn't be too surprised. Actually, we're going to have an engagement from ReGen here. We currently have the Dragon Blade coming out. Templar taking quite a bit of damage. The Horrify does go out, separating a few of the members away. Tosses out onto Gabe, but it looks like he will get the web wrap onto the healer, I do believe. That will be Savior in the backline. Garish will be falling here. That is going to be the silence onto Murda. He won't be able to get out. Genji will be falling as well. Sonya will be falling. And it looks like this game will be going over to Modo Gaming. The web weaver currently walking in through mid. Gabe taking quite a bit of damage. Does get a little bit of a shield. Should be able to get out of there. Either way, that is going to be game number 1 is going to be going over to Modo Gaming. GG, well played. Alrighty, and so welcome back between games. How are you guys doing? thank you to everyone who came out and is watching the games. Whew. What a phenomenal first game we had in our hands there. For some reason, my game time's 0 minutes. That's odd. But definitely, we did see that the Web Weavers do scale HP-wise, so that is something that we need to consider. The one thing I didn't look if their damage was going up throughout the game. At one point I saw it was 224, but I didn't check it again. Either way, still, what a phenomenal first game. Greymane and Gul'dan just neck and neck for that siege damage. Same with hero damage between the two either way. It was just such a good game to watch. I'm just trying to look at just some of the numbers. Leoric just taking so much in that solo lane, just taking so much damage, as well as just being such a high XP contribution member. We'll peek over at the talents here really quickly while I drink a little bit more water, and then we'll get the game set up for game number 2. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get this set up. I started selecting heroes like I was going to the next match. Alright, so we are going to be going into Dragonshire. Let's go ahead and just set all this up, and the teams will join in as they need to, I believe. Or I can also just send them invites myself. Boop and boop. Did I push the right button? There we go. Alrighty, so while the teams are loading in, just to tell you a little bit about myself, I do a lot of Heroes of the Storm Amateur League casting as much as I can. So this is the Nexus Gaming Series. It is, actually, I believe next week is their last official week before the playoffs. So we are going to be getting into some interesting matchups here. I am absolutely excited for those. These top teams, I mean, just the play from these seasons. I've been trying to stay within the Division B area, casting a few of those games, just making sure that, you know, I see everyone who's playing in there, because I, you know, trying to stay on top of what these teams play, what they pick up, who these guys are. Also, just, you know, if you see the same people on the stream, it's always good just to, you know, kind of have regular people in the stream. But if you're enjoying the stream, obviously, go ahead and hit that follow button. It means the world to me. I'll pop it in after stream, but there is a YouTube link and a Twitter link. If you hit ! Twitter or YouTube, it'll give you the link for those two. I upload my VODs to YouTube. I'm a little bit behind. It was crazy for work this past week, but should be slowing down a little bit, able to just kind of get some stuff published out to a few of the members who want to watch it. But overall, it looks like we are getting ready to go into this game. Just have to have the last member get ready and... Oh, capitalized the wrong letter in that sentence. Either way, I'm just pumped about this. We have one ready out. I always get so excited when I get to cast games. This is an absolute blast for me. Whenever I get to stream games, like in the past, like I used to pick up the like scrims as much as I could, just because it was like whatever I could get my hand on. All right. Let's go into this game. Here we go into Dragonshire. Go ahead and just update one last thing. There we go. So either way, game number 2, map picked by ReGen here, giving Modo Gaming first ban, first pick. Dragonshire is really interesting. We often see a priority on having a strong solo laner in the top. We often see that the tank somehow goes into the mid, and then we see a 3-man in bottom. That is typically what we see on this map, a 1-1-2, or excuse me, 1-1-3. But we can see often, and this is the thing that I was going to note, casting a lot of ReGen, there is often a lot of, they've run double support here, and at this point no one's banned out Dahaka, so that is definitely an option. Typically we see the Dahaka run with the Falstead, but they're going to go straight into that Greymane once again, and it's not a bad idea. He was strong in this. He's strong for the solo lane. He can hold over, you know, top lane by himself if he needs. He can be in mid. He has good engage, disengage. So overall, not a bad first pick on the side of Modo Gaming. Now, ReGen, what do they go into here? I'm just thinking, like, you could go into your lane sustain right off the bat and just go into, like, a Vala Ariel or a Medic Gul'dan or a Medic almost anything at this point because she's so strong. Stukov's a viable option too, or you just pick up your tank and...
I stand ready.
Ooh, okay, so they go for the Vala Rhaegar. And this is interesting. No one's gone for the Dahaka yet. He's in the past been such a priority in this map, and I honestly wouldn't be too surprised to see Modo Gaming pick this up before we go into the next ban phase. Me personally, I think he's a very good asset for the team. He offers a lot of gank attempt. He offers a lot of strong survivability in the top lane, as well as just being a solo top laner. I personally think that he is a go-to before we go into the second ban phase. And on top of that, I wouldn't be too surprised to see them go into their healer. Stukov, in my opinion, works very well here. Lieutenant Morales is a very strong pick. I honestly think that's what they're going to be going into. So there's the Stukov. And they're going to go Jonah. I mean, she works on this map. The blind against Vala is pretty strong. It hinders Rhaegar a little bit too, so not a bad pickup here, but I'm just surprised that it's gone so far through when I've seen it be such a priority in the past on this map. Ban-wise, though, I'm honestly unsure. Chromie once again. I didn't expect a Chromie, honestly, from Modo Gaming. I really didn't expect the Chromie. It was strong in the last game, yes. But I don't know if it's something that I'd be prioritizing here in my draft. I really don't think it lends towards that. Trash ban? Really? There's no way that's a serious ban. Strange goat in chat. Sorry to disappoint. That was a blank game in stats. Either way, just these guys. Either way, on the side of ReGen, realistically, a Nubrak wouldn't be a bad pickup tank-wise. Diablo works here too. Diablo would be pretty good actually, and then you could pick up something like a Kael'thas with that. Ooh, no, False dead. Arthas. Okay, they go for the Arthas. Falstad, not a bad idea. And once again, I keep noting it, but I'm very surprised by this. We still have a Dahaka that's gone through on Dragonshire. Like, I mean, I've casted so many games in the past where he's like first pick, first ban on this map almost. So it's just so interesting and such a crazy thing for me just to see like nobody prioritizing it. And minimal global prioritization as well. I mean, the Falstead so far, yes. But at this point, last two picks on the side of Modo Gaming, they're going to need someone for their top lane. Alarak's not a bad idea. Sonya works here. Malthael's still... Actually, Malthael's a really good choice. I think Modo Gaming should go into Malthael with a side of... I'm not sure. What really do they need? Some range like Lunara wouldn't be bad, but they could go into a mage like a Jaina. Okay, so they go into Li Ming Lioric. Okay. I was thinking Malthael for the percentile on the Dragonite, as well as he works very well on the fight over the shrines. There's a lot of he succeeds in fights like that where it's in a very tight corridor. He gets healing off of the enemy. He gets some good body blocking with his ability to W onto enemy team members. I believe it's W.
Here we go.
And a Valera. I mean, if it was picked up for the sole purpose of just making Li Ming's life horrible, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the value of that Valeera. I'm a little worried about it. But either way, let's get into this game. On the left-hand side, we are going to have ReGen with Murda on the Falstead, Zul'Kan on the Valeera, Savior is going to be on that Rhaegar, Altanian's going to be on the Vala, and Templar will be on the Arthas. Now on the side of Modo Gaming, one game up, we are going to have Savo on the Stukov, Rage Masters on the Li Ming, Gabe will be on that Joanna, Strange Goat's going to be on the Leoric, and Bronker will be on that Greymane. This is actually really weird. We might have a lobby bug. We'll see here. I will try and buy as much time as possible. There we go. We're going to load in. Okay. I had a lobby bug earlier this week. Oh, God. What was that for? I can't remember. I can't remember what I was streaming. But either way, like, there was a lobby bug where my computer, like, dropped. Like, my computer did a hard crash. And so it created, like, a ghost slot of myself. And then I was literally, when we got into the lobby and we were loading into the game, it was just like, co-caster and we're just like, banter. How long can we do this? And eventually it was like, let's take a break, restart stream. There we go. But either way, let's get into this matchup. See what we got here. Vala going for that Hungering Arrow build. Let me just go ahead and double check. Okay, Central. We're good.
Seconds.
I was like, did somehow... That's so weird that it dropped a couple people. Might have been an issue. Either way, if we have a problem, we'll go ahead and load. We'll do a pause or something. Overall, I'm not seeing anything too crazy here for the first picks. We do have the Laws of Hope for the Joanna. Have been some changes on her. I've not played her yet, so I don't really kind of fully understand how the changes have affected, but looks like the teams are just, being nice, making sure that the connections are fair for everyone before we go into this matchup. We need to make a recreate. That's just very nice of them. Just good play from everybody. But we are going to go into this game. The niceties are gone. Let's go ahead and see who's going to come out on top on game number 2 on this matchup on Dragonshire. So once again, we're going to have Murda versus Strange Goat in the top lane, but this time we're going to have the Leoric going up against the Falstead. Now we do have potential for a gank here. Bronker coming up through the bushes here, going to dive onto Murda, but he will have the barrel roll out and be able to make that disengage. Now in the bottom lane, we do have Altanian and Savior going to be going up against Gabe and Rage Master with Savo in tow. I was thinking that the Greymane would be used in mid lane, which looks like that's what's going to be. And Zul'Kan's going to go ahead and be rotating, I believe, through probably mid and bottom. Now, the one thing that Zul'Kan, Valeera, I guess, is actually going to get dove upon a little bit here. Going to get pulled in from Gabe. The orb is going to go out from Rage Master. Going to get the slowing totem out from Savior there. But it looks like Gabe's going to have to go through it. Going to get slowed. Going to be able to get out fine, though. Altanian taking a little bit of damage. Going to be able to back off or get out of there fine. Looks like Murda will go ahead and cap the top point without a problem. And Strange Goat's going to have to deal with that sooner or later. Now, Sava rotating into this mid lane with Gabe and Bronco. Going to try and go up against this Valeera and Arthas. Altanian going to go ahead and rotate up. And this leaves Li Ming and Rhaegar in bottom lane, which I believe... I don't know who would win out in that matchup. I really don't know. But either way, let's go ahead and just kind of peek up into this mid lane. This is where the fun will be. We do have a little bit of a stun going out on the Bronco. Going to be able to get the Valeera out of there. The Howling Blast does go out and connects onto a couple of people. But at this point, it looks like it's just going to be kind of an even back and forth. Actually, it's going to be 1-over on the side of Modo Gaming. They're really starting to push these guys back. But overall, bottom lane has been held over by ReGen. Top lane as well. And the experience has just been kind of even matched. Overall, I mean, the teams are just playing this early game very safe and very passive, to be honest. They're not going in too crazy for fights. We currently have Rage Master just trying to poke out a little bit of damage here. Looks like in that top lane, though, we have had the top getting held over by Modo Gaming. Now we do have a little bit of a dive here onto Savo. He is going to get rooted. We do have Zulkin diving in here as well. Going to be able to get the kill, and that's going to be first kill going over to ReGen here. But at the same time, they're going to follow up a little bit. Gabe trying to get a little bit of damage onto Savior there. And it looks like we're going to have Strange Goat going ahead and just working down this top lane still. We have Murda going ahead and just getting full on mana. Going to have the flight back into the top lane without a problem. And now this bottom lane... This is the one thing I'm a little surprised by ReGen. So they've held over this bottom lane for so long. Now, Li Ming, yes, she's been pushing out a little bit here and there, but she works it better at range. So it's just, you've taken out the cannon shots, but they haven't been able to do any sort of follow-up damage. Now, we do have Bronker taking quite a bit of damage here, and that is going to be the follow-up kill onto him. So that's going to be the second kill of the game going over to ReGen. And they're going to go ahead and capture this bottom over, and they're going to hold top as well. So it looks like at this point they can get the Dragon Knight, but unfortunately they don't have the assets in place to capitalize on that. Do have a route on to Rage Master. Going to go ahead and actually be able to get behind the gate. Templar capturing over this bottom, and it looks like Murda will be doing the same in top. And at this point, they still have the Joanna in mid, so there's going to be a decent amount of poke out. Now, Altanian will be able to push Gabe back here, but... shouldn't be too much of an issue. The only thing that they have to worry about is now Altanian will be getting... Oh, the blind does go out, as well as they capture top over with Stranger Goat. Stranger Goats? Strange Goat. And we do have Bronker positioned for a potential gank onto Murda, but it looks like he will just be barreling up into that top, but he doesn't see these members coming in, so Bronker will have the initial dive out. Murda will be kind of flying around this edge, and we do have Strange Goat coming around for the slow. We do have Bronker rolling forward. I don't believe they will be able to get this kill, but they definitely will push him back, and at this point they will be capturing over top, which will delay them out in that mid position. They can't really get the Dragon Knight anytime soon here. It was at halfway point, so I don't think they could have channeled it regardless, but it's just one of those things that, you know, holding over that top lane, it's a little bit of ease of mind. You can play the lanes a little bit safer. It takes a little bit of stress off of your mid laner, Gabe, who's currently, and this is what I was talking about. We typically see just like the tank in mid lane, which is what we're seeing. And ReGen's making these rotations, and they're doing them well, and they're getting a kill here and there. They're actually going to get the stun on to Li Ming. I don't believe she's going to have a dive out, but it looks like Savo will get the healing out, as well as just the body blocking. And we actually have Altanian going to get slowed. The pole wasn't there to condemn, actually, but we do have quite a bit of damage going up from these two tanks. The blind is also there, but Altanian will be able to get out. Zulkin just going to be postured up for the potential kill on the Strange Goat. Altanian going to barrel roll forward. Potential kill. There is the dive forward onto Leorc from the Rhaegar. And biting that butt, and they're going to go ahead and get that kill. And this is slowly just pushing them ahead on the side of ReGen. They're definitely getting quite a lot of value from this. And so once they can get 10s, I honestly wouldn't be too surprised to see them definitely getting the Dragon Knight here. And it looks like we do have Strange Goat taking quite a bit of damage. He will be falling here. Yes. Looks like he will be falling to the 3-man that dove upon him. And that will push them closer to 10. Now ReGen, they're going to be able to go ahead and potentially take this Dragon Knight. Gabe in the bushes. Going to get stunned out by Valier, but the minion wave also slowing this down. Potential on the kill. The blind did go out, but they went ahead and... Gabe got out behind the gate. Now, I don't believe they'll be able to save this in time, so it looks like ReGen will go ahead and hold over this Dragon Knight, and they're going to go ahead and start to walk this thing down mid lane. Now, there aren't any shots, and this has been weakened quite a bit from just the overall push that they've had. Now, Strange Goat, Savo, Rage Master, and Gabe currently dedicating themselves into this mid against the Dragon Knight, and we actually have, looks like Bronker and Murda going up against each other in the top lane. And that's something that that's gonna be a pretty even matchup. I honestly don't think Murda will get too much value off of this push up against that Greymane, but at the same time, they won't be able to have too much damage out besides the Li Ming, who actually, we do have 10s from both teams at this point, so we do have the Arm of the Undead, the Rain of Vengeance, the Sister Healing, which actually the Rain of Vengeance did go out there getting a couple members. We do have an orb going out for Li Ming. That is a potential kill. Nope, Strange Goat will be able to get out safe there. Gonna get the Spectral Leech onto the Dragon Knight, getting a little bit of healing, as well as just chunking it down a little bit with the percentile that you get from there. There is the March of the Black King, which is going to heal him up to about full health. Actually getting kicked over into the back lane. Going to go ahead and Wraithwalk into a few of the members. Going to get the slow. Li Ming will go ahead and get the beam onto these guys. And they're chasing this entire team back with the Dragon Knight. Now Zulkan going to go ahead and get scouted out here. Looks like he will get the disengage, but Altanian going to get caught out. That will be the kill onto Vala here. Do they follow up again? And it looks like they're not able to, but at this point I wouldn't be too surprised to see them open up this bottom lane. Keeping this open and taking out the well and taking out any sort of retreat area or sustain that they have is very, very powerful. So As we saw in top lane, Murda's doing that exactly. He's opening, you know, prioritizing that well, making sure they take that out, making sure they take out the sustain. And you can see them doing the exact same thing in bottom. Actually, they're going for a kill, but we currently have Zul'Kan coming in the backline. That's something we need to worry about. Trying to make an entrance for a potential stun kill. Looks like they're going to go ahead and get the swipe out. The Orc falling extremely low here. Is going to get the March of the Black King, but it's not going to connect onto anyone, so he's going to fall. Still going to be so low. Zul'Kan trying to go in for the kill. Does get the Spectral Leech out potentially for the Unveil, but it doesn't happen. And they make a clean disengage from here, and they basically get the same value Murda did in the top lane, except for the fact that they just burned down this fort a little bit more. Now, Dragon Knight was picked up about, I'd say, a minute 15 ago, so we do have a little bit of time before that's going to be coming out. Zul'Kan going to go ahead and scout out this camp, making sure that, you know, just providing a little bit of vision for his team. Looks like Savior will be starting down on this hard camp. Oh, you know, that's going to be pushing into the bottom lane, which is going to just at least relieve them of that pressure so they can just hold that over probably when the Dragon Knight starts up here in a few moments. But at this point, it looks like with 13s achieved on the side of ReGen, they're going to be playing extremely safe for Modo Gaming. So that I'm not too surprised about. Zul'Kan actually going to go ahead, try and get a little bit of damage onto Gabe, but going to be actually blinded, and they're just going to make that disengagement. No big deal. And this siege camp's cleared out right away. They go ahead and get that hard camp as we had noted, and that's going to time out perfectly with the Dragon Knight, as I was talking about. This gives them the time to go ahead and sit on this point. They can capture this over, get a little bit of an advantage by posturing and being ready for it. And now Leorc, he kind of does the same thing in top lane. He has the camp pushing up in the lane. He goes ahead and holds this over, and this is going to be top of the map red and bottom of the map blue. And speaking of blue in the bottom lane, it looks like actually we do have Modo Gaming going ahead and capturing over this Dragon Knight. Now, they don't have anyone in position in mid, and they also don't have 13s, so they need to be a little bit safe here, but they can get these quite quickly. Leorc in that bush position, just soaking up the experience. Doesn't need to go out and utilize really anything. Doesn't need to show that he's here. It definitely could potentially pull Murda out, maybe catch him off guard. Currently going to get the swipe out. Question is, who wins over in this 1v1? And looks like he will be able to go ahead and hold over at that point. Now, ReGen currently postured up in this kind of gank area, but they're a little bit spread out. We currently have Gabe in the back line, actually with the Rage Master doing quite a bit of damage onto a few of the members, but that is going to be the Blessed Shield going out. That is the Rain of Vengeance from Vala as well. The Flailing Swipe does disengage here, but they do lose their lead Ming, potentially Bronker here as well. Looks like the cannon shots will be kind of deterring ReGen from that potential kill. Now, we do have Falstad flying into bottom lane. Meanwhile, in top, Leorc will hold this over, so they won't be able to get this Dragon Knight anytime soon. They're going to trade these out, and it looks like Leorc will just sit up in this bush once again and see if anyone rotates. And they actually get Templar here. It's tank v tank, so we're going to go ahead and just go back to the mid fight, which is where the real action should be. And it looks like they're positioning Valir here for the capture on this point. The rest of Modo Gaming is currently coming in. Silence does go out, but it's I don't think they get the blind, which has the interrupt. Currently having Bronker dive into that backline. The stun goes out from Valir. Gonna get interrupted by the condemned from Gabe there. We do have Murda coming in here now, getting quite a bit of damage out with that hammering. Vala gonna go ahead and get a hungering arrow out on a few of the members there. And just to note, she is, I believe, 2 shots away from finishing that level 1 quest, so not the full damage just yet, but it's soon to be. Now we do have quite a bit of damage going out onto that backline. Savo gonna be actually getting damage there. The Gust did go out for the disengage. Ancestral did connect onto the member that was needed, but they actually get the pull onto Savior here. Do they have the follow-up? Rain of Vengeance did go out, but it is not going to connect on the end of the members. They're really just making sure that their healer got out safe there. That Gilnea's Cocktail, though, going through the gate, doing quite a bit of damage, and they're going to hold over this top lane, or this mid lane, quite well. Now in top, we do have Strange Go, potentially taking quite a bit of damage, but he does pop the March of the Black King at the last second, which gives him unstoppable status, so Valir could not get the value, and I think he did see that coming. It was otherwise it was just timed out very perfectly. Overall, though, it looks like this is, you know, it can be potentially channeled by ReGen, but unfortunately they just don't have the assets in place. They have the rest of the team in this mid lane. They are going for a fight on the Gabe. The the flailing swipe does go out for the disengage. They go ahead and they don't take this fight now because ReGen, they have 16 and they were looking for that. They go ahead, they pick up the Dragon Knight, and this is a very good position for them to be in. They go ahead and they start to walk this down into the bottom lane, looking to open up that bottom and potentially even take a keep. If they can get this, the catapults in the bottom lane are going to become a vital asset for their team. And it looks like we already can see all the majority of the members of Modo Gaming going ahead and posturing into this bottom lane. The silence will go up from Stukov, pushing a few of the members back, zoning them out a little bit. Currently have the blind out as well, and they really can't get in here because of that silence, and it's pushing them back quite a bit. They open up the gates here. They really take out everything in the front line. Savo going to be starting to be prioritized a little bit, but they start to go on to this keep. Now, in the top lane, the one thing we have to note here is we've had Leoric laning that entire time trying to get to 16. Once they get that, you can see them playing way more aggressive on the side of Modo Gaming because they'll be actually on that same talent tier. The level advantage will give them a little bit more damage, but either way, they still will have quite a bit of value from that Dragonite. Now, okay, so they leave Leoric the entire time. He goes ahead and gets the 16s. Does he start to back is the question. Either way, we do have a Dragonite trying to open up this mid lane a little bit. Not going to be working out too well. Gonna get the kick onto Bronker, separate him from the team. And at this point, it's going to be the end of the Dragonite. The slow be out. It looks like there will be quite a bit of damage going on to Strange Goat. They will get that kill. The Ancestor Healing will connect on to the Valera. They get the slow onto Savior. The Rain of Vengeance goes out for the slow. It looks like they're going to turn around right at the exact moment that ReGen starts to chase here. It is technically 4v5. I mean, they just have the slows from the Orc. Now, if he is around some of these members, he can cheat death, and it looks like he is doing exactly that. Few of the members are postured around. Looks like Zul'Kan will be scouted out here. The blind revealing him. But they go ahead and they seal away the siege camp. The zone will be there. They get it overall. Li Ming trying to get this disintegration beam onto a few of the members for, I believe, the dismount as well as just the slow disengage. And I think we are about probably a minute or so from the next Dragonite altar being spawning here. So that's something that we need to make sure that we're aware of. And it looks like ReGen is also, they're going to go ahead and get this camp in bottom lane, push this up. But potentially it looks like Modo Gaming is going for a fight at this point. I honestly can't tell. They're staying in the same lane as ReGen consistently and just making sure that they don't get any sort of push there. They're keeping everything at the midway point. You can kind of see mid, Zul'Kan's already gone there to push that up as well. And tops actually has a bunch of archers starting to stack up. Phew. Now at this point we do have the bottom getting cleared out, and it looks like actually Modo Gaming is going to go ahead and use kind of some of this momentum in their favor, pushing up into this bottom lane, making sure that they buy as much time for these catapults, as much time for this lane, because the catapults will be starting to stack up. The further you push it back is something you have to deal with. But at the same time, really quickly we have to note, top lane, mid lane, they're getting pushed in. They need to respond to this. This is good for ReGen. Realistically, yes, they could lose the keep front gate, but at this point, the delay that they're providing is getting them a ton of value. And at the same time, also, they don't have a global. So the one thing they need to realize is that Murda can fly top any moment. It won't be all the way to top, but you know that he'll be able to capture that Dragonite. It's going to put them in a very good position. We actually have, looks like the stun will go onto Savo. They are going to get a ton of damage onto the Valera. That will be her falling at this point. So they are going to start to turn onto a few of the members. They actually get the Ancestor Healing onto Templar here. Bronker going to go ahead and try and get the chase down there. Not going to be working out. The Gustos go for the disengage. They currently have Strange Goat and Rage Masters in position, but Strange Goat going to be falling a little bit low here. Rage Master going to have to back off, and they're just looking to get another reset off of that Li Ming. Gabe just slowing them down with that Condemn. Murda falling a little bit low here. They start to chase these members into this keep, and do they potentially... This is the thing, they need to make these quick decisions. They did this in the last game on the side of Modo Gaming. They need to snap pick, they need to go to the top lane. They need someone to hearth. They clear the top lane. But no, they're gonna go ahead and they're staying in this bottom lane so long that Valera's almost back from death. And yes, they're pushing this up. Yes, they're pushing the catapults back, but it's just something that they need to consider that, okay, so they have Greymane, he went back, he's gonna clear this out. Should be able to get onto this point. Now they need to just put someone in that mid lane position. Why are they have the advantage. Either way, it looks like actually we have Strange Goat currently going to be able to use Marks of Black King. Actually not going to be getting value out of that because he did go in a different direction than most of the members. Now there is going to be the Howling Blast out from the Arthas. Li Ming trying to get a bunch of damage out. We do have Bronker currently coming down here. That is going to be Savo falling. But at the same time, we do have Murda getting low. That is going to be Li Ming falling. Gabe is going to be falling extremely low himself. Templar is actually, they're going to get the kill on default step, but Joanna's going to be dying here. Now Zul'Kan is back. They actually get the kill into Greymane, and I wouldn't be too surprised they core march. I don't know if they can end it between these three heroes. Now they do have the minion wave slowly coming up. Arthas can tank a little bit of this. He does not have Army of the Undead just yet. It looks like they're going to try and burn this down, though. Zul'Kan currently on the core as well. They do have 30 seconds, and I do believe this is going to be the game going over there. Trying to get the Royal Focus, I do believe, onto a few of the members, slowing down that damage. But unfortunately, it looks like game number 2 is going to be going over to ReGen, so they're going to be splitting this evenly? Yes. Okay, so game number 2 is going to be going over to ReGen. That is going to be 1 point to each team. GG, well played.